नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे मूकं करोति वाचालं भंगं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणं परम आनन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्. So we can chant some verses which we do at the beginning of the Chaitanya Caritamrita. Some of you may already remember. वन्दे गुरूनीशभक्तान् ईशानीशवतारकान् तत्प्रकाशां तत्शक्ति कृष्णचैतन्य संज्ञकम् वन्दे श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य नित्यानन्द सहोदितौ गौडोदये पुष्पवनतौ चित्रौ सन्दौ तमोनुदौ. Jump to text 18, 19 and 20. I'll make a simplified Word document, might be easier. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा ग्रंथेरारंभ करी मंगलाचरण गुरु वैष्णव भगवान तीनेर स्मरण होय विघ्न विनाशन अनायास सफल निज वांछिता पुराना जय जय कृपामय जगतेर नाथ सर्व जगतेर कर शुभ दृष्टिपात श्री रूप रघुनाथ पदेयार आश चैतन्य चरितामृत कहे कृष्ण दास जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for taking out your most valuable time in reading this wonderful holy scriptures. So yesterday we completed the book Beginner's Guide to Krishna Consciousness. As I was referring to the book, I quickly felt that one of the page was missed in the scan. So just want to cover that, the words from Srila Prabhupada. I'll quickly read this. You can read at your end also. The process of Bhakti Yoga is simultaneously very difficult and very easy to perform. Very difficult and very easy. You want to know from who, for whom it is it difficult and for whom is it easy? Hmm? For a sincere person, devotional service is very easy. For a sincere person, bhakti is easy. But for those one who is not determined and sincere, bhakti is very difficult. This is Prabhupada's purport from. So Prabhupada is kind of like giving this instruction to devotees in New Talavan. A few key points. What are the few key points? Remain enthusiastic. Very, very important. Be confident of success. Don't be hopeless. Hum honge kamyab ek din. Right? We will overcome. We will reach our goal. We'll become pure. I'm not there yet, but be hopeless. Yes, Krishna is kind, merciful. We will get there. Don't lose confidence or hope. Follow the regulated principles. Very important. Be straightforward. No duplicity. No hypocrisy. Be straightforward. Live without pretending. Keep the association of devotees. Be patient. Patience, tolerance, and even times. Humility, very, very important. Do not become morose. There will be situations in life which will make us morose, but enthusiasm, we will, yes, bounce back. And Krishna will help you. So anyone recollects any points? Anyone wants to just reiterate those points? This is Prabhupada's words to devotees in New Talavan, 1975. Anyone recollects some key points which we just covered? I'll repeat again. Okay, sure. Mataji wants to say.
Yes, Chanti. What I recollect is, if we are sincere, then bhakti is easy. But if we are not sincere and determined, then bhakti is very difficult. That's one point.
Very nice. And what are the points, few points Prabhupada listed?
Sometimes like others, they're asking others. Even.
Be sincere, be enthusiastic, be confident of success, follow the regulated principles, don't be hopeless, don't become morose, keep the association of devotees, be patient, and Krishna will surely help you. So let's keep that always in our mind, in our hearts. And with that, we will move on to Caitanya Caritamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 6. So we have covered 5 chapters before, for those who have been following the readings. When did we cover? You might have that question. So the last reading for chapter Adi Lila, chapter 5, the last few verses were on 8, 31, 20, 21. So about 2.5 years back. So, but we covered. The recording is there, step by step. So we'll start from chapter 6. Is it okay? The chapter 6 is entitled The Glories of Sri Advaita Acharya. Everyone ready? With your seat belts? Okay, let's start with the a quick summary. Anyone wants to read a quick summary?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read Prabhuji.
Yes, Santosh.
The glories of Sri Advaita Acharya. The truth of Advaita Acharya has been described in 2 verses. It is said that material nature has 2 features, namely the material cause and the efficient cause. The efficient casual activities are caused by Mahavishnu, and the material casual activities are caused by another form of Mahavishnu known as Advaita. That Advaita, the superintendent of the cosmic manifestation, has descended in the form of Advaita Acharya to associate with Lord Chaitanya. When he is addressed as the servitor of Lord Chaitanya, his glories are manifested because unless one is invigorated by this mentality of servitorship, one cannot understand the mellows derived from devotional service to the Supreme Lord Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Adamataji, for reading this. We recently had the Advaita Acharya's appearance day, Advaita Saptami, a few days back. So it's very nice to read about him. Vande tam Srimad-Advaita Charyam Adbhuta-Cheshtitam Yasya Prasadad Agyopi Tatswarupam Nirupaye. Translation by C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I offer my respectful obeisance to Sri Advaita Acharya, whose activities are all wonderful. By his mercy, even a foolish person can describe his characteristics. Who is saying this? Who is I here? Anyone?
Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami.
Yes, the author of Caitanya Caritamrita, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So at the beginning of the chapter and the end of the chapter, we'll see, this humble mood. He is 90 plus years when he's writing this masterpiece upon the request of devotees, but still always having this mood of, I'm a foolish person only by his mercy. I'm agya, agyopi, agyan. I don't have no knowledge. Tat Swarupam Nirupayet. I can describe his rupa, his form, his qualities only by his mercy. Yes, next verse. Anyone? If you can raise your hand, it really helps to go in the flow. Yes, Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanvat Pranam devotees. Text 2, Jaya Jaya Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you. This verse comes multiple times in multiple chapters, so very, very important verse. I think most of you already have memorized this. If not, you can try to do very, very simple words. Any comments anyone has here in this text? This is often sung before, like before Bhagavatam, they would sing the Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihar. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So it is often sung before Caitanya Caritamrita classes. So we should memorize it. It's very straightforward. Next, yes, Vasati Mataji.
পঞ্চশ্লোকে কহিল শ্রী নিত্যানন্দ তত্ত্ব শ্লোকোদয়ে কহি অদ্বৈত আচার্যের মহত্ব. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. In 5 verses, I have described the principle of Lord Nityananda. Then, in the following 2 verses, I describe the glories of Sri Advaita Acharya. Hare Krishna.
So this basically, these 5 verses here represent Canto 1, Adi Lila, Chapter 1, Text 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The first 6 verses are about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then the next 5 about Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And then Advaita Acharya, the following 2 verses. But then Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami elaborates upon those in multiple chapters. So basically the first 14 verses of Adi Lila, the spiritual masters, the first 14 verses are described in chapters 1 to 7 in detail. So out of the 14, there's a table. Let's try to clarify this a little bit more. Table. Cool. So 1 point, Adi Lila, let's say, Adi Lila 1.1 to 1.6. The first 6 verses talk about the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or the Isha Tattva. But they are further elaborated in chapter 1 to 6. Takes 1 to 14. So the first 6 verses elaborate about then these are Adi Lila chapters. Chapters 1 to 6. Then I'm sorry, not the chapters here. We are on the 6th chapter. My bad. It's in till the 3rd. Chapter 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1 to 4, actually, to be more precise. Then chapter 5 is about Nityananda Prabhu.
Nityananda Prabhu.
And then Advaita Acharya. So the 5 verses, 1.7 to 1.11. And the following 2 verses, which means 1.12 and 1.13. Then the 7th chapter talks about Panchatattva. And that's mentioned in 1.14. Is it okay or confusing? So if you go back to this, so if someone can memorize the first 14 verses, that's very, very nice. Full permission. Talks about some of the reasons also. Then you see Sankarshana, Nityananda Prabhu's verses. These are all Nityananda Prabhu's verses. 10. Now 11 is the last one. Mahavishnu Jagata Karana Mayaya Srijat. This is Advaita Acharya. Advaitam Harina Advaita. And the 14th, Panchatattvatmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa. So first 14 verses, if anyone wishes to memorize. Some of you may already be knowing some of those, but these, here's a quick kind of summary. So basically, the first 7 chapters talks about this. The first 7 chapters is an elaboration of the first 14 verses in more detail. Any comments there? Okay. So now we know what this 5 verses mean and what these 2 verses mean. Everyone knows? Okay, who can answer? Type in the answer if you know the answer. What are these 2 verses? What are these 2 verses Krishna Skaraj Goswami is referring? Can anyone type in on the spot?
Prabhuji, no text messaging capable, so I can.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So it says in the following 2 verses, following. So it's coming, right? What we are reading, so the following 2 verses, text 5 and text 4 is described about, in 5 verses I have described, or he already described, and the following 2 verses means here text 4 and text 5, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami described about Srila Advaita Acharya. Right, Prabhuji?
जी, I think तो पूरी रामायण खत्म हो गई तो it's like so these 2 verses, I mean, in one way you are right, but those two verses are the same as these verses. If you notice, those two verses are the same. So technically, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is repeating, but these two verses are referring to this, which are actually the same verses as these two, text 5 and 6, or 4 and 5. But in the 5 verses, so now which 5 verses is he referring to? Because this is the third verse technically in this chapter. So that's why I elaborate this whole story. Does that help? So those two verses are same as 1.6.4 and 5, which we are going to read. But
Yes, Prabhuji, I got it here. 1
okay.
point to 1.30. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Let's read them. And these two are the same as we covered. Yeah. Anyone? Please raise your hand if you'd like to read. It really helps. So I don't have to ask every time after every verse. And yes, Ruby Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam devotees. Text 4. Mahavishnur Jagatkarta Mayayaha Srijati Adah Tasyavatara Ebayam Advaita Acharya Ishwaraha. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the actions of Maya. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thanks.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, as I mentioned, these are the same verses, same translations. There's no purport here in these verses. The incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose function is to create the cosmic world through the actions of Maya. So it's a combined incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva, or the form of Vishnu who comes in contact with the material world or Maya. So Mahavishnu Jagata Karta. Jagata Karta. Karta means the cause. He is the creator. Maya ya Srijat Adaha. How? He creates the universe by the illusory energy. Tasya avatara. Tasya avatara evayam. So Advaita Acharya, Tasya avataram evayam. Advaita Acharya Ishvaraha. So Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu. And whose main function? Mahavishnu, we know that Mahavishnu is the lying in the causal ocean, right? And whose main function is to create through the pores of his body, right? So he's the incarnation of Mahavishnu. And of course, later we'll understand about the Sadashiv part also. So in short, Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu from this verse. Mahavishnu, not very hard to remember. Let's try. Mahavishnur Jagat Karana Maya Yas Srijati. Mahavishnur Jagat Karta Maya Yaya Srijati Adha. Tasyavatara Evayam Advaita Acharya Ishvaraha. So you can try to memorize this verse or both, whatever you feel. Yes, Baldev Prabhu can read the next verse.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dhanapranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Text 5. Advaitam Harina Dvaita Da Charjang Bhakti Sangnasat Bhakta Misham Tamodoita Acharya Masraye. Translation by His Divine Grace is a Bhakti Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki joy. Because he is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he is called Advaita. And because he propagates the cult of devotion, he is called Acharya. He is the Lord and the incarnation of Lord's devotee. Therefore, I take shelter of him. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. You'll remember a few days back we covered this verse,
Yes.
Anchitatvatmakam Krishnam. Mother, did you make table? So, anyone remembers that verse? And how we linked it to Jai Shri Krishna?
I don't remember the verse, but I have it written. Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam, Bhakta Avatara, Bhaktakhyam, and Bhakta Shakti Kam.
So who is Bhakta Avatar there?
Bhakta Avatar is Advaita Acharya.
Yes. So then that's the same word used here also, right? If you notice the words, Advaita. Advaita, non-dual. Hari na Advaita. Hari na Advaita. He is non-different from Hari, or Lord Hari, or Krishna, or Vishnu. So he's not different from the Supreme Lord. That's one aspect. What's the other aspect? Acharya. Acharya, Acharan Charati Iti Acharya. The one who preaches by his own example. So he propagates, or he preaches, or spreads the cult of devotion, or Krishna consciousness. Therefore, he's called Acharya. By his own example. Bhakti Samshanat. Bhakti Shamsana. So what he propagated? The devotional service to Lord Vishnu or Krishna. The next aspect, Bhakta Avataram, as we learned there also, incarnation of a devotee. Panchtatvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. So incarnation of a devotee. Isham Tam. Advaita Acharyam Ashraye. I surrender. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, before talking about a great personality, one should take shelter of that personality, right? Or seeking blessings. I take shelter of Advaita Acharya because he's going to speak about Advaita Acharya, right? So let's say we have to give a class on glories of Srila Prabhupada. You must take blessings because who am I, right? Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is teaching us this important lesson. He's saying, oh, I am Agyani, I am fool. I don't know anything, right? Agya. I am Agya. I don't know. So anyone recollects what are the different aspects we learned about Advaita Acharya? Let's try to summarize so far in text. These two texts are important, are like the seed verses to elaborate the whole chapter. Anyone recalls?
Sai Prabhu.
Yes. One.
That we have done. Advaita, it says that Advaita Acharya is incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose like the main function of Mahavishnu is to create cosmic world through actions of Maya, and Mahavishnu is the creator of universe through illusionary energy. So Advaita Acharya is considered as incarnation of Mahavishnu, and because Advaita Acharya is he's considered that way because he's not different from Hari, because he through his own example, he spreads the message of devotion and bhakti and devotional services.
Very nice. So incarnation of Mahavishnu. Let's summarize in like bullets. What else? Harina Dvaita, so non-different from Hari.
From Supreme
Okay,
Lord.
what else?
And he is the he incarnated as the devotee of the Lord,
So Bhakta Avataram.
the avatar.
Try to remember the Sanskrit or the Bengali words also. It will help and go deeper in our heart and mind. So incarnation of devotee. What else? Anything else we covered so far?
He
Acharya.
he is
Acharya, very nice. He propagated.
They propagated the cult of devotion.
Bhakti Shamsanat, if you remember. So try to build your Sanskrit words also. Acharya, Bhakti, Shamsanat.
Sankshanat.
Right?
Sankshanat.
Anything else we covered so far? Okay, that's good. Let's read the next verse.
So, and Prabhuji, that's why he called, because he's non-different from Hari, that's why he called Advaita.
We call it Advaita.
He's
Very nice.
Advaita.
Wonderful. Okay, text 6. Yes, Girish bro.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Am I audible to?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. Advaita Acharya Gosani Saksat Ishvara Yanahara Mahima Nahe Jivara Gochara. A translation: Sri Advait Acharya is indeed directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. His glory is beyond the conception of ordinary living beings.
Weibo. Thank you. Advaita Acharya Gosai, Lord here. Sakshat Ishvara. Is Sakshat Ishvara. Not different from Krishna. Yahara Mahima Nahe Jivera Gochara. Yahara Mahima, whose glories are not within the reach of ordinary beings. That means he is beyond. Like, can someone glorify Krishna fully? Ananta Shesha, from time immemorial, from millions of his hoods, cannot completely glorify Krishna because his glories is unlimited. So how can ordinary Yahara Mahima, jiski Mahima, nahe jivera gochara, right? It's beyond capacity or beyond reach of ordinary beings. So we can never fully glorify Krishna. Of course, we try to make our humble attempts, and we should, we must. But even Lord Brahma cannot fully know Krishna. So we learned one more word here, Sakshat Ishvara, right? So he is basically again Advaita or non-different or Harina Advaita. So different words to address. So he's non-different from Lord Hari or Sakshat Ishvara. So therefore, we learned the other day we can also offer Tulsi Devi to Lord Advaita Acharya on page number 54. You remember?
Yes, sir.
Next, Shirama Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. মহাবিষ্ণু সৃষ্টি করেন জগদাদি কার্য, তার অবতার সাক্ষাৎ অদ্বৈত আচার্য। Translation by Lila Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Mahavishnu performs all the functions for the creation of the universes. Sri Advaita Acharya is his direct incarnation.
Hare Krishna. Mahavishnu avatar. So that same point is elaborated in this text also. So now from 1.12, from text number 6 onwards, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is elaborating on the word Advaita for the next 20 verses. So from text 6 to 26, he is going to focus on the word Advaita. And why is he using the word Advaita? Because he is non-different from Krishna. So as you see, Sakshat Ishvara, another way to say the same point. In this text we read that he is the Sakshat avatar of whom? Of Mahavishnu. Right? So that Mahavishnu who is responsible for all the creation, Advaita Acharya is his direct incarnation. Tara Avatara Sakshat Advaita Acharya. So again emphasize on the word Advaita. So the key word to remember is Advaita, Harina Advaita, Ishvara Sakshat, Mahavishnu incarnation, Avatara, etc. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is elaborating that he's non-different from Vishnu in 20 verses. Any thoughts? Any comments anyone has? Next. Text 8. Anyone would like to read?
You can read, Prabhuji.
Yes.
ये पुरुष सृष्टि स्मृति करेण मत मायाय अनंत ब्रह्मांड सृष्टि करेण लीलाय. Translation: The Purusa creates and maintains with his external energy. He creates innumerable universes in his pastimes.
Haribol. What are the 3 Purusha avatars? Anyone knows?
Karnadaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Shridaksha Vishnu.
Yes, the 3 forms of Vishnu. Karanadaksha Vishnu, also called as Mahavishnu, who is lying in the causal ocean, from whose navel comes Lord Brahma. Actually, sorry, Garbhodaksha Vishnu's navel comes Brahma, but Karanadaksha Vishnu's, from his pores, unlimited universes come. So these are the 3 Purusha avatars. So that Purusha creates and maintains that personality. Purusha also means personality. With his external energy, he creates innumerable universes in his pastimes. How? When he takes a breath, just every exhalation, unlimited universes are coming through Mahavishnu or Karanadaksha Vishnu. Unlimited. Ananta Brahmanda Srishti Karena Lilaya. Lila. We have to create a tiny paper boat, we have to spend some time and energy and some effort to make a paper boat, correct? If we have to make a 3D model for our son or daughter in the school, it will take more resources, more time, more energy, correct? Let's say you have to make a 1 feet boat. If you have to make an actual boat where 2 people can sit, now more energy, more effort required, more thought, more planning, more resources, more. The bigger the size, the bigger the intelligence, bigger the planning, bigger the resources. But for Mahavishnu, it's Lila, unlimited universes, which we are one speck in that, or even the whole earth, the whole this world is one just tiny speck there. This is his Leela. He's so unlimited. Ananta Brahman coming from his body. Yes. Next.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, then I can read. Hare Krishna devotees, and Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Ichaya Ananta Murti Karena Prakasha Eka Eka Murte Karena Brahmande Pravesha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta from Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. By His will, He manifests Himself in unlimited forms in which He enters each and every universe. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol. So referring to, so now the unlimited Brahmanda are created, and then he enters every universe. Andantarasta paramanu chayantarastam. It's like the anda, the egg-shaped universes. And then he lies there in the Garbhodaka ocean from his transcendental sweat. And he's there in every universe as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So from Karanodakshaya Vishnu to Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. 10. Anyone who hasn't got a chance to read? Sei Purushera Amsha Advaita Nahi Kichu Bheda Sharira Vishesha Tara Nahi Kavicheda. Sei Purushera Amsha Advaita Nahi Kichu Bheda Sharira Vishesha Tara Nahi Kavicheda. Sri Advaita Acharya is a plenary part of that Purusha, and so is not different from him. Indeed, Sri Advaita Acharya is not separate, but is another form of that Purusha, that personality, that Purusha incarnation, Mahavishnu. Nahi Bheda. Advaita, Harina Advaita, right? So many words we are seeing this. This is the focus is what? The word Advaita. Advaita, Harina Advaita. He is non-different from Vishnu. Then there are so many verses. It's not because I think or you think or he thinks or she thinks. That the Shastra is saying that. So you have to always back up with Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So he is not separate from that Purusha or Mahavishnu. Next, anyone who hasn't read?
Yes,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Yes.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu, please. And then Vijay Mataji can read the next one.
Sahaya Krina Tanara La Iya Pradhana Koti Brahmana Karena Ichaya Nirmana. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. E. Advaita Acharya helps the pastimes of the Purusha, with whose material energy and by whose will he creates innumerable universes. Hare Krishna.
Sahaya Korena. Sahaya karena. So means Sahayata. Sahayata means help. He helps. In the pastimes of Purusha. So he's not different from Mahavishnu and creates innumerable universes. With whose material energy, by whose will, he creates innumerable universes. Okay, this verse finally has a purport, so let's read this too. Yes, next. Vijay Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Jagat Mangala Advaita Mangala Guna Dharma Mangala Charitra Sada Mangala Yanra Nama. Being a survivor of all auspicious attribute, Sri Advaita Acharya is all auspicious for the world. His characteristic activities and name are always auspicious. Purport. Sri Advaita Prabhu, who is an incarnation of Mahavishnu, is an Acharya or teacher. All his activities and all the other activities of Vishnu are auspicious. Anyone who can view of all auspiciousness in the pastime of Lord Vishnu also become auspicious simultaneously. Therefore, since Lord Vishnu is the head of auspiciousness, anyone who is attracted by the devotional service of Lord Vishnu can render the greatest service to human society. Rejected person of the material world who refuse to understand pure devotional service as the internal function of all living entities and as a actually liberation of the living being from condition life become of all devotional service because of their poor fund of knowledge. Continues, Prabhuji. In the teaching of Advaita Prabhu, there is no question of fruitive activities or impersonal liberation, bewildered by the spell of the material energy. However, person who could not understand that Advaita Prabhu is none different from Vishnu wanted to follow him with their impersonal conceptions. The attempt of Advaita Prabhu to punish them is also auspicious. Lord Vishnu and his activities can bestow all good fortune directly and indirectly. In other words, being favored by Lord Vishnu and being punished by Lord Vishnu are one and the same because all the activities of Vishnu are absolutely according to some. Mangal was another name of Advaita Prabhu as the causal incarnation of Lord Vishnu incarnation for a particular occasion. He is a supply agent in ingredient in material nature. However, he is never to be considered material. All his activities are spiritually. Anyone who hears about the glorifies him becomes glorified himself. For such activities, free one from all kinds of misfortune. One should not invest any material contamination of impersonalism in the Vishnu form. Everyone should try to understand the real identity of Lord Vishnu, for by such knowledge one can attain the highest stage of the perfections. Hare Krishna, Babu, back to you.
Hare Krishna. So beautiful verse. Mangala, 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 Mangala. Right? Jagata Mangala Advaita. He's all auspicious for the whole world. Mangala Gunadham. His qualities, or he's the reservoir. Samasta Guna Ganadhama. Right? He is the reservoir of auspicious qualities. Gunoki Dham. He is the reservoir, ocean of all the divine qualities. Mangala Charitra. Sada. Always his characteristics, his activities, charitra, his qualities, his activities, everything is always very auspicious. Mangala Yara Naam, and unka naam is very Mangal. His name is very auspicious. There's a beautiful Kevalashtakam bhajan. Mangalam Mangalebhyopi. Right? It's a beautiful bhajan. Harinama eva kevalam. So this word Mangal is coming multiple times here. Beautiful verse talking about the all auspicious Sri Advaita Acharya or all auspicious Lord Vishnu or Krishna. Lord Vishnu is the fountain head of auspiciousness. Anyone who is attracted by devotional service can render the greatest service to society. So beautiful. By rendering devotional service, we are rendering greatest service to the society because it is for the whole world. May everyone be auspicious, as Prahlad Maharaj says. May no one see disease, difficulty. Swasti astu jagasya. Kala prasiditham. May every swasti also similar to Mangal, right? Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, right? May everyone be auspicious. May everyone see auspiciousness. That's a mood, and that happens through devotional service. So, 4 things basically mentioned. He is the auspicious for the world. His qualities or gunas are auspicious. His activities are auspicious. And his naam. So nama rupa guna, right? Krishna's name, Krishna's characteristics or qualities, Krishna's attributes, rupa. So that same thing is mentioned for Advaita Acharya. And he's all auspicious. For the world, if everyone becomes Krishna conscious, there will be all auspiciousness. No one will, all the problems, whether material or this or that, every problem will be resolved. Therefore, Prabhupada said that we are offering the highest solution to all the problems. Krishna consciousness or bhakti or devotional service will lead to the mangal of everyone. So we have covered 12 verses. Any thoughts, comments, reflections, takeaways from these 12 verses? Anyone has? Okay. Anything before we stop or wrap up for today? You know what? Let's read 13 also, and then we'll pause. It'll be a good point to pause. Anyone who wants to read? Just quick.
Krishna Prabhuji, can
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Text 13. Koti amsa, koti shakti, koti avatara, etalana swaje, purusha sakala samsara. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Mahavishnu creates the entire material world with millions of his parts, energies, and incarnations. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What does the word koti mean? Koti is
Crore.
billions, crores, okay. Koti amsha. Koti shakti, energies, shakta, amsha, part and parcel, incarnation. Avatara. Ita lana srije purusha sakala samsara. Mahavishnu creates the entire world with millions of his parts, energies, incarnations, and different avatars, different Shaktis. So ultimately, it's all the creation of Mahavishnu, right? Who is the creation of Lord Krishna? So he's the Supreme Father. Like if we trace back, whether it's moving or not moving, right? Ultimately, it's coming from Mahavishnu, whether it's material, spiritual, the spirit material world, especially we're talking about all the material world. Sakala Sansara, it's more talking about the material world. Anything, any planet, when we talk about planet, we're not just referring to this Brahmanda. Scientists have little knowledge of this Brahmanda, even very tiny portion of this Brahmanda. They have no knowledge about other Brahmandas, where there are, 1,000-headed Brahmas. So in short, Mahavishnu is the incarnation of all, and through his parts, parcels, energies, incarnations, etc. But he's doing his Lila. It's not a lot of hard work or stress. Oh my God, but, to create something is not easy, is it not? Especially as we discussed, the bigger the creation, the more complex and the more energy is required. But for him, it's just, just by a thought, just by a mere thought. Like how much effort it takes to inhale and exhale. Right? We are doing it without much effort. We don't even realize we're doing it, right? Every day, thousands of times. Do we have to pay? Okay, now I'm going to inhale. Okay, now I'm going to exhale, right? No, it's like unconsciously we are doing it. That's the Lila of the Lord. Okay, so we covered 13 verses. I think it's a good point to pause here, and we'll continue tomorrow with the next. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhaktavinda. Shri Panchatattva ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Caritamrita ki Jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai, Jagadguru Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavinda ki Jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.